Hello everybody, welcome to the ADI Wildlife Sanctuary in South Africa. Thank you for joining us. We thought it would be nice to have a Facebook Live so that everybody could catch up on how Coralie, Goliath are doing, how Thomas is doing, and then go and see Ray C with it being Father's Day today. Jan and Tim are actually in the UK at the moment. Hopefully they're going to be joining online. So if you've got any questions, please do ask them. We have this afternoon, we've got Lafaso, Paul and Eleanor, and we're going to be doing a little bit of enrichment. But let's start. We've got Goliath and Coralie, who you may remember were rescued from a circus basically in France and came to us a little while ago, have been settling in since then, and this is them in their nice big habitat. As you can see, we've just moved away from Goliath just for the moment, but you'll see here is Coralie. For those of you that remembered right at the beginning, Coralie was a little bit more cautious when she arrived, and yet here she is fully relaxed, very happy in her main habitat, the bigger habitat here. She's a little... I do apologise, we've got a few technical issues with our internet at the moment. What we're going to do though is give Coralie Goliath some coffee bags which are filled with teff and lavender. It's the first time they're actually going to get lavender, so we're going to be just as interested as you are to see how they're going to react. So let's throw those over. I think Coralie's a little bit more interested with Safe and Tabia, who are just opposite them at the moment. We gave her a coffee bag the other day and she was very nervous of it, but once she actually got hold of it, she ran across the habitat, very much reminiscent of how Marla behaves. I think what we'll also do is we're going to give Safe and Tabia their coffee bags. And then as part of their afternoon enrichment as well. But hopefully you can see how well Goliath and Coralie are doing. So here are Safe and Tabia, who came to us a year ago, who were part of the illegal pet trade in Kuwait. They're doing exceptionally well, fully settled in, love their toys as you can see, so they're getting their coffee bags as well. They're used to our enrichment. As soon as they see our resident welfare team coming with toys, they're fully engaged. This is typical Safe. He always picks up his enrichment and walks away from us and try and hides it. So Safe and Tabia came to us, as I said, last year, along with Aziza, Mahib, Suja, Saham, and they've all settled in incredibly well. Being a bit younger than the lions that we've got here previously, they're keeping us on our toes. For those of you that remember when Tabia actually came Right, so we're just going to go back and see Coralie and Goliath. I think they are walking together in their habitat here. Still very interested what's going on with De Beer and Safe. When they first arrived, we actually have our resident welfare team spending time with them, monitoring, but also trying to build a bond and trust. So Eleanor here was part of that team. How have you seen them settle?
So they are totally different than from when they first arrived, especially Coralie. She has turned out to be a very confident lioness. She likes exploring the main habitat and stalking all our residents and everything, so she became more out of her shell than what she was.
Yeah. Yesterday we found her, she was on top of her den watching all the other residents that we have. She was interacting with the bull that we have in her habitat. So as Eleanor said, she's become a lot more confident than the very quiet lioness that she was when she first arrived. So Goliath, from those of you that might remember, when he first arrived, he was confident and was roaring, which he's continued to do most evenings, but typically the other lions are roaring at the moment and he's not joining in. That's kind of typical cat behaviour. So Coralie has actually now found her coffee bag, so let's just quickly go and have a look to see how she's playing with that. In comparison to the other lionesses that are home living here with us, Coralie's actually quite a bit bigger. You can probably see as she's sitting there with her. And I'm sure everyone can see here how much more confident she is. She's just relaxed, she's settled. Definitely watching Safe and De Beer. I think it's all new to them at the moment. What's interesting though is Max and Stripes are relatively near to them, and there's also an interest from them as to who the newcomers are. So we're going to head up towards Thomas so that we can look in on him. But along the way, we've got coffee bags for Aziza, Mahib, Max and Stripes, so we'll drop those off as we go. Life made very easy for us thanks to our little electric carts that we've got, our little Blitz cruisers. These are just absolutely fantastic, and they are electric, which we recharge via our solar, so all very green. So as we go past, we've just got Safe, still a little bit interested in Goliath and Coralie. Goliath still here watching from the other side. I'm sure in time they're going to make great friends. Walking along with us is Max and Stripes. This is Max behind, but we're going to stop and we are going to give them a little bit of enrichment as we go along. As expected, we've disappeared off into the distance with ours, and the same thing's going to happen again. I mean, this enrichment will keep them occupied for quite some time. It's all about the smell. They absolutely love the smell of lavender. I think you've also seen us give catnip. Coco and Chino, if ever we give them lavender, absolutely adore it. We are next going to pop, Aziza's actually hidden herself away, so she's being a little bit shyer, but we're going to stop with Mahib on the way up. So for those of you that are following us, Mahib is another one of the lions that came from Kuwait from the illegal pet trade. We unfortunately have a very, very sad diagnosis of the fact he does have cancer, but he's doing incredibly well. He's very, very engaged, as you're going to see. He's coming running to us now. He sees us coming. Mahib is always a little possessive over his enrichment and his toys, and that was him telling us basically that coffee bag is his, and telling us basically to go away. I think we're going to head off towards Thomas. We'll leave Mahib so he can relax and understand that is his coffee bag. I think anybody that remembers him from when he first arrived, he was quite quiet, and it's amazing now to see him become a lion and have the confidence to tell us to go away. It's exactly what we want them to do, to have the freedom for whatever they want to do, and how they ever want to tell us off, as he's just about to do again. I think everybody's getting quite a good tour of the sanctuaries we're going around. So as you can see from the video, this at the moment is Max and Stripes' habitat. Not sure we're going to see them. It seems that they've taken their coffee bags off into the distance, hiding them from us. Going past their pool, which unbelievably, despite it being winter, they're still using. You'll also see their den, which has been made nice and warm for them. We put hay bales, we put hay inside, and they nestle in there at night time, keeping very warm. For some of our tigers, we do have underfloor heating, also for some of our lions, so they get to be very warm at this time of year when it is cold outside at night. So we're just going past Sasha Tiger's new habitat. For those of you that have followed us, Goliath and Coralie, we converted their habitat into a quarantine habitat, and Sasha moved, and we've seen such a big change from her since she's come into this habitat. She's very, very engaged. What we're finding amusing is that she's spending more time with the lion end than in actual fact, she's just behind us, sorry, than the tigers. So let's just stop, have a little look. Sasha's done what all of our cats seem to do, which is run off with her bag, but as you can see, she was very engaged with us as we went along. But we'll go and see Thomas and Kimber. So Thomas has just came back to us last Monday, having been up at Old Chapel Veterinary Clinic. He had major surgery. Dr. Peter Caldwell performed a miracle in terms of Thomas had a twisted intestine. The two intestines are twisted around each other, and it was very touch and go for a while, but Thomas is actually back. He is very healthy. I think Kimber was overjoyed to see him when he came back, and the two are now in their main habitat. We're just going to go along here. We'll just stop and maybe walk along. And Thomas is doing it exceptionally well. He is very hungry, we've noticed, since he's come back from his operation. So every time we go past, he thinks he's being fed. But let's go and see the boys. We always worry a little bit when we reintroduce our lions, but these two have such an incredible bond, and we put them together after the first night of Thomas being back, and it was head bumps, and since then, nighttime, they've been cuddled up in their den together, and they are really doing incredibly well. So here is Kimber first of all, and Thomas, I think, is expecting some dinner this evening, but he'll get that a little bit later with his medication. He will be on medication probably for the next 10 days. with the big operation that Thomas went through, he has lost a little bit of weight, so we are building him up again. You will probably see that his stomach is shaved. Kimber is protecting his brother there, but as I said, Thomas is doing just so well. So like Coralie and Goliath, Thomas and Kimber are also from circuses, and being in this habitat, having the space and the freedom to do what they want must be pretty incredible for them. So Lafaso, what was it like when Thomas wasn't here and you were worried about his operation and then getting him back again?
Yes, we were very worried too much, because also Kimber used to spend his time in the feeding camp, and that's not normal. Most of the time he used to be with Thomas, so it shows if something happened with Thomas, we're gonna struggle a lot. We will need to spend a lot of time with him.
So for Thomas and Kimber, them being together is quite something for them. They were in circuses in Peru. They were born in the same circus but were separated, and we then reunited them at ADI, Wildlife Sanctuary. Sasha, who was in the same circus wagon, is actually next door, so while Thomas was away, Kimber did spend time at the fence line with her, so that was some comfort to him. Right, I think what we will do is head down to the Father's Day lion, which is race C, and then also see the Cuscos, who will be at that end as well of the sanctuary. So let's head down there. I think you can see there Thomas running along is a true sign of how healthy he's feeling now. The sun as it's setting is just the amazing colours a minute ago on Thomas's mane, actually beautiful colours. We tend to call him the redhead of the sanctuary, but just there I don't know if we could see with the lighting, but so next to the boys is Sasha. She's actually on the fence watching them. I'm sure she was very pleased to see Thomas come back as well. And then we have David as we're going past David. We're quite privileged this evening. Anyone that's worried about the other residents as we go past, they are getting enrichment. The rest of the resident welfare team are giving them enrichment as well. Sunday being our enrichment day, every single one of our residents gets some sort of toy to play with. We'll actually just stop here, Tanya and Tarzan. I think they're going to be heading off to bed fairly soon. Tarzan has been feeling a little bit under the weather, and we've made his den, as you may see, really warm and cosy, and included in there we do actually have a form of heating for him to try and keep him warm during these winter nights. So we've got Suja Saham is somewhere. He seems to be here he is. He's coming out as well to see us. We can no longer call them the Kuwait babies. These two really have grown up into two very, very impressive lions. Again, they came from the illegal pet trade in Kuwait and were abandoned. So they have an enormous habitat that they can explore, but we do tend to find that they like being quite near us. They enjoy the human company, which is amazing given what had happened to them. Here we have Rolex. We don't normally get to see all of our residents like this, so they must know it's a Facebook Live and actually come out to greet you all. Africa and Kiara as we go past. We can feel the temperature dropping just now, so I think Smith might have already headed off to bed. I can see Smith way in the distance. I'm not sure whether you can actually pick it up, but he's sitting on top of his crate, the crates that they travelled in when they were rescued and came to South Africa. We have just put them in the habitats, and we're finding a lot of our residents really enjoy sitting up. They get a better view from sitting on top of those. See if Ray's going to join us. So Ray C, Ray Cusco, is actually father to Skark and Marla. Although he's not in the same habitat, he's in the habitat next door, and they spend most of the time along the fence lines together. So let's go and see where he is so we can wish him a happy Father's Day with a bag. So the nice thing about the habitats at this end are these trees, and quite often Ray will be hiding in and among them. Can't see him at the moment, but we'll keep going. With the habitats this size, our residents have the option not to always be on view. If they want to, they can go and relax. They've either got trees, they've got dens, they've got their A-frames. They can really go and do what they want to do. So if we don't see them this afternoon, that's basically up to them. I have a feeling though that they're going to be right at the other end of the habitat. Who's coming to see us? He's running towards us now. And on the other side we do have Scark and Marla. I think they are aware of the fact that it's Enrichment Day and they've come to see what we have for them, so we will stop here. Hello, Ray. Hello. Interested in protecting his family on the other side than getting his coffee bag, but he will go to that in a second. We're also going to give coffee bags to Scark and Marla. Oh, there we go. Right, let's see whether his children would enjoy a treat for Father's Day. All of the Criscos were rescued from circuses. That was typical Marla behaviour. Kiara is their mother is just about to come and join us as well, so we will give her a bag and just hope that Scark doesn't come and run along and take it. So this family were in circuses, or the circus in Peru. Unfortunately, when ADI actually had permission to take the lions, the circus kind of fled, and in the process Kiara was separated from her cubs. But ADI stuck with it and waited, and eventually they were reunited. So I'm just looking at Scar annoying his sister there. And this was in part due to Smith and an incident in the circus, which led to the family being reunited. And hello, Marla. It must have been quite something for Kiara to lose her cubs when they were so young, and overjoyed when they came back into her life. It just goes to show really how the circus owners were not interested in them as a family, and having split them up. I think Kiara is now heading up to see what's going on. Hopefully the lavender, nice calming effect on Marla. Marla really does just love to play with the toys and be entertained and engage. She's the most incredible footballer as well. What is incredibly sad for these circus lions is that the treatment, part of the treatment that they were on the receiving end of, was being declawed. The pain that they must feel now as a result of that must be quite something. So what is quite nice at night time is our security team do often find Marla in particular close to the fence with her father the other side. They do engage most of the day, but it is Marla that has quite a close relationship with her father. We're just gonna pop down and see whether we can give a bag to Kiara. We have a feeling Marla's going to run off with it, but let's give it a go. Not sure we're going to get it past Marla, but we'll give it a go. Yep. I think Marla thinks every toy is for her. You will notice this time of year we are in winter. In just a couple of weeks our grass has gone from green to sort of very dry. This is very unusual this part of year in the fact that we don't have rain in winter. We have it in our summer months, which makes it a bit difficult for us. We have to make sure that we have our fire breaks in place. We always need to just be on standby for that. So, oops. But a very, very peaceful scene as the sun's setting over this habitat. And although we moved further up behind us, Ray has followed us. So I think on this peaceful scene, as the temperature's dropping and the sun is setting, we will say good night. We really appreciate all the support you give us. We thank you for watching our Facebook Live. We couldn't do the work that we do without your help. Please keep donations coming, no matter how small. They're really important to help us give all of our residents the care that they need throughout the whole of their lives. Marla and Scar, for example, still fairly young, a lot of years ahead, hopefully, and your donations make a difference to them. So thank you very much, and good night.